clipboard, and just so you can check, okay, I'm going to enter in this next scene from stage right. Or I'm going to enter from stage left or come to the floor. Does that make sense? Yes, Hannah?
Stage left is left when you're standing on stage, and
yes.
stage right when you're standing on stage, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's always from the actor's perspective.
So stage right, stage.
Yes. Stage right, stage left. Great. So do we have any questions on that? Okay. Wonderful. Mike, could you do me a favor? Could you over in that corner of the lights because there's 3 lights. For those backlights, those backlights. Turn it off. Yes, we have the women supporters on stage on the far stage left.
Yes.
Because the women are the women supporters and they're close together. Make sense?
So should we be more over here or should we
Or just when you come up, when you rise, you should come close together. Thank you, Mike. Excellent. And we do not have the music right now because we need Wi-Fi.
Mark me well, lads. Mark me well, lads. One false word could put a noose around the neck of the Liberator. Grand day for a meeting, isn't it? Are you comfortable there now? Let me know if you need anything at all. Go beshi chichu. Agus Warguda. Ajernagia. Awakisa. Agusan spirited neath. For the benefit of the representative of Her Majesty's government, I shall continue my remarks in English. He appears eager to understand my words, and I am eager that they hear our voices. Brave, moral people of Ireland, you deserve to be a nation, and you shall be a nation. Today is not far distant that you shall have your parliament restored in Ireland. I declare 1843 as the year of repeal. For months, we have gathered by the hundreds of thousands, Catholic and Protestant alike, and agitated throughout Ireland, in all these assemblies, with all those multitudes, there has been peace. Irishmen, you may soon have the alternative to live as slaves or die as free men. Yeah! In the midst of this peace and tranquility, the English government is covering the land with troops. On Thursday, the cabinet was considering what to do, not for Ireland, but against her.
What? No!
We're ready for them!
Of course you are. Do you think I take you for cowards or fools?
No!
Are we to be called slaves?
No!
Have we not the ordinary courage of Englishmen?
Let them try!
Are we to be trampled underfoot?
No!
They shall never trample on me, at least. I was wrong.
What? No.
I was wrong. They may trample me underfoot.
No!
I say, they may trample. We were a paltry remnant in Cromwell's time. We are 9 million today.
Good. Lights go down. O'Fallon Cottage comes out. Pretend that the lights go down so everyone exit. Yeah. Where's Eamon?
Barry, where are you?
So what I do want you on the stage. I gotta go on the stage. Oh. Strings at the end. Yeah, it doesn't make more sense. Come on, Eamon. It's okay, don't worry. Pick yourself up and try it. Go ahead.
Was said to be 1,000,000 souls at Tara. I should have been there.
What with the wall breaking free and the animals cutting through to O'Brien, she could hardly afford 4 days away.
There's talk of another at Clontarf. The boy will go with me.
Go. No harm can come. Is led by Daniel O'Connell himself.
How can you be sure?
Didn't baby Danny draw life from these breasts?
What? I've never heard of this.
Needed no coaxing. Latch straight away.
You nursed Daniel O'Connell.
Mora. Danny was my own until his 4th year. Danny's father's dead 6 years this spring, God rest him. No harm in speaking now. Baby Danny was put out with us for early raising. Didn't want to leave me either. Thought himself one of us. When his father comes and takes him back, did the rascal walk 4 miles back to me, across the bog, past the marten cat. Amazed I was. Proud too. I tell him, he's Danny O'Connell of the rich O'Connells. He tells me, no, he's Danny William. His mother was vexed. He'd called her Mrs. O'Connell. He left me that day. I was told never to speak of it. But I watched him close after, as once I saw him.
Grandmother, how can you be sure there'll be no trouble? Armies massing, soldiers are everywhere.
Danny's blessed, Mora. A gift from God. He knows what can happen. Saw for himself in '98. The rebellion, was a mob, really. The United Irishmen. No one knew what they would do, least of all themselves. Of course, that only made the English more keen to find out. They send in General Lake, a vicious brute with all his soldiers. You take a man, any man, strap him to a triangle, beat him with a cat o' nine tails, till he says something. Tom Hartney was one, God rest him. Lake beats him and beats him, screaming for rebel names. But Tom doesn't know anything. Finally, Tom's near his end, and the general turns him to his little house where his wife and babes live, and tells them he's to burn it unless he gives a rebel name.
The flames rise higher. Kevin sees a baby pushed through a hole and runs to it. A rebel comes over, pipes it dead. And then the screaming stops, and the only sound is the cracking of burning wood. May the Lord have mercy on their souls. Of course, the rebels of 98 were crushed. Danny saw it all. It was a terrible time. No one bought pork for months. Pigs were said to have feasted on the dead. Kevin escaped to Roscrea, but was said he couldn't get the screams out of his head. They found him hung by the neck. Danny saw the blood on all sides and started on another way. What way? Beating the boy at their own game. Blackout.
Yep, blackout. Take your baby. Never part from your baby.
Well, am I on
You
stage right now?
No, you're gonna exit the stage.
Okay.
But when you come on next, you should have your baby.
Oh, okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
The curtain will be closed during scene 2 so that we can set the stage during that scene. Just quickly get it together for now.
Peter, you want us to walk behind the screen?
Yes. So this is scene 3, the courtroom scene. Good, Stephen. You're in the right place. Is Katie in the house?
Yeah.
Great, so just be ready to come across. You'll be right where Katie is, Stephen.
Oh, so is this okay?
Yep, come down here,
Yeah.
and then go up around the back. I mean, if you can help you up, that would be great, but I'd rather you go up the stairs because it's taller than the community center stage. So just when you come up stage, when you come up on stage, go around like that. Upstairs. So you
Oh,
won't
he's gonna say,
fall.
come on. Oh, okay, so I have to leave earlier than that.
Yeah, well, we'll work it out in just a minute. Good, and then this is the courtroom scene, so I need everybody, all the men and women, anybody who can, all hands on deck. Good. Come on out beneath the shadows, thank you.
Peter,
Yes.
this isn't the courtroom scene, this is the...
Not the courtroom scene, I apologize. It's kind of like the meeting. Thank you. We need more. So the only people who should not be on stage are Jeannie and Brendan. Everybody else should be on the stage.
Jacob and
And Mike should come on just a minute. Jacob comes on with Mike. Ignatius, you can come on.
Just in the crowd.
Good. So no worries about the sound. It's that we're getting everything figured out tonight, so everything can be figured out tomorrow. Just ignore the sound and just follow through. Good. Go ahead, Kathleen.
Daddy's rich uncle sent him abroad for an education. Daddy came back a lawyer and took all Ireland as his right.
Gentlemen, order, please. It's not entirely clear to me if this meeting is even legal.
The pace of the agitation is moving too quickly.
And its tone grows increasingly vulgar.
Can you let me laugh first? Ha 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 ha!
Its tone grows increasingly vulgar.
Our policy of dignified silence has won us some friendship within the administration.
We should nurture those partnerships.
Progress has been made through tactful disagreement, frowning on our enemies.
We'll retire within 10 minutes if a quorum can't be reached.
I do have a pressing luncheon.
Katie comes out.
You there, man? Are you a Catholic?
Who wants to know?
Your God and your country.
My God knows my faith, and my country punishes me for it.
Good man. Time to straighten your back and raise your voice to both. Come with me. A meeting's about to start to petition the government for our liberties.
Meeting?
To agitate for our rights.
Our rights?
To land, to positions, to education, to representation in Parliament.
And will there be a bit of food to sustain the participants of such a grand meeting?
Aye, there's some food. Man does not live by bread alone.
Aye, but he doesn't last long without it either.
Good. Stephen comes up.
Excuse me, Father. May I have a brief word?
In truth, I'm just enrolled in the seminary.
Forgive me, Father. Your demeanor and gait belie your status. One day you shall be a bishop, even an archbishop, and the people will rejoice in your holy presence.
I would hardly.
Indeed, I believe so. You know, Father, of the new Catholic Association, how it works peacefully to advance the rights of the people and address injustices perpetrated by the government?
It sounds like a laudable organization.
Indeed, Father. And you will be pleased to know that all members of the clergy are accredited as ex officio members of the association. We are presently to begin a meeting and desperately need another member. Will you not join us for a few moments?
Well, I don't know if that would be entirely appropriate.
You can be assured that it is not only appropriate, but highly desired for the Church and her leaders to shepherd the people in the ways of peacefully petitioning for their common rights. Father, wasn't it only a few short years ago that priests were outlawed from the country of Ireland upon pain of death? Many, in fact, suffered that.
We haven't a quorum.
Your attention, please, gentlemen, your attention. I nominate Mr. Michael Crowe. Mr. Crowe is known personally to me as a man with a tremendous hunger for the liberty of Ireland.
Yes, so moved, and I second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Welcome, Mr. Crowe.
And I present Father Eamon Murphy, who, as a member of the clergy, is an ex officio member of the association.
Just a seminary.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
That's not necessary, Mr. Welcome, Father.
I believe, Lord Finn, that we now boast a quorum. Shall we initiate our proceedings with a prayer for Father Murphy?
Apparently, we may proceed. Father, if you would be so kind.
Heavenly Father, just a seminary. Heavenly Father, bless these efforts to redress grievances, and restore justice to all the people of Ireland. In the name of our Savior, Jesus Christ.
Thank you, Father. Is there a motion to read the petitions?
I wish to explain my presence.
Sir, you are not recognized by the chair.
So moved.
My lord, I move that the petition now be read.
I must be heard.
There is a motion to read the petitions. All in favor?
Aye.
My lord, I beg to state my object in coming to this meeting. I am here as a magistrate of the city of Dublin, having been informed that this is an aggregate meeting of the new of the Catholic Board, composed of priests, prelates, country gentlemen, and others chosen from the parishes of Dublin.
My lord.
Sir, I ask you as
I
chair.
ask you as the chairman if this be the case.
My lord, we are met for legal and constitutional purpose.
That is not an answer to my question. Is this an aggregate meeting of the Catholic Board composed of peers, Catholic peers, priests, and others in the parishes of Dublin?
The Catholic Board was recently made legal by an act of His Majesty's Parliament.
Then, my lord, I ask you, what is the name of this association, and in what capacity is it met?
We are the New Catholic Association, and we are met for the legal and constitutional.
I move that Dr. Netherville assume the chair of the New Catholic Association.
Dr. Netterville, do you assume the chair of this unlawful assembly?
We are assembled for a legal and constitutional purpose.
I move that Father Murphy assume the chair.
As the time allotted for our proceedings has expired, I move we are adjourned.
Excellent. Lights down.
Danny not only stirred up the pot, he had it boiling.
Good, Brendan comes out.
Didn't take long for his rich old uncle to find out. That was not the plan he had for his nephew.
What did you go and brew it now for? You're just going to have to boil it on the pot when they get home.
I was informed, Your Honor, always takes his cake.
And did you never think that you might change your plan and pocket an extra penny? And I need you.
Uncle, you look the peak of health?
Uncle! You look the peak of health. God be praised.
It's lovely to see you, Uncle. And you've seen to tea. How thoughtful of you.
Have a look at the family. Your namesake grows like a weed. Keep it. As a Catholic, this protest may get me to the inner circle, where the real money is.
To the inner circle? You'll be lucky to be allowed to practice after this. And then how are you going to support that plan of yours? Do you think they're going to take this? Do you think they won't come after you?
Look at these books. You sent me to study them, to learn from them. What good is truth if it remains words on the page?
The truth in Ireland is that a patriot ends up poor or dead, usually both.
I appreciate everything you've done.
And you so tell us you're to give this up.
I have clients to defend us.
You leave the criminal activity.
We've done nothing illegal.
Then defend them with facts and stop the rhetoric. I trust you understand how serious I am? An old man should not have to live to see his investment squandered.
Lights?
The uncle was right. Powerful men were to
During
watch
this,
them.
people are entering for scene 5.
Make an example of the upstart. See that he never practiced again.
This is another one with everybody on stage. It's a courtroom scene.
Are we gonna have more chairs?
Yeah, but actually what we'll have is benches. Some spectators. But for now, just stand. We need all hands on deck, though. It's looking very good.
Penal Laws.
We're dealing with bigots. The law doesn't matter.
You listen to me, Uncle. I have a business, my family, my reputation. I am not going to prison.
Our suffering is becoming less abstract.
We didn't agree to this. Dr. Netterville is not a well man. You got us into this. You're going to do whatever it takes to get us out now.
I agreed to adjourn yesterday. From that impulse of nature which compels us to postpone pain. It is a cheerless, a hopeless task to address you. A task which requires all the effort of a mind fully fraught with resentment and disgust. What you heard yesterday was a discourse in which you could discover neither order, nor method, nor eloquence. Violent and virulent. It was a confused and disjointed tissue of bigotry, held together by base vulgarity. And yet, upon reflection, the Attorney General is indeed an object of compassion. And from my inmost soul, I bestow upon him my forgiveness and pity. My Lord, I commence with one assertion of the Attorney General, which I trust I misunderstood. He seemed to not simply charge us with unlawful assembly, but with treason. It is impossible to refute such charges in the language of dignity or temper. If any man dare charge the Catholic Association or any members of that association with treason, I do here, I shall always, in this court, in the city, in the field, call him to his face, brand him as a complete and wanton liar.
What, Mr. O'Connell, can this have to do with the question which the jury are to try?
For 3 days, you heard the Attorney General of Ireland attack, slander, and humiliate us. You heard him with patience and with temper. Listen now to our vindication. What is it that we seek? Why? To be allowed to partake of the benefits of the Constitution. If we wished to overturn it, would we exert ourselves through vilification and in great peril to obtain some portion of its blessings? No. I defy him to allege a law, a statute, even a proclamation that is violated by the Catholic Association. He mistakes the plainest facts, misquotes the clearest law. I disdain his moderation. I scorn his forbearance. I tell him to his face he is dishonest in not having sooner prosecuted us with treason, and I challenge him to that prosecution. You are all, of course, Protestants. See what a compliment he pays to your religion and his own when he endeavors thus to procure a verdict. Gentlemen, I sincerely respect your religion. There is goodness and truth in your faith. But the good religion may be, and often is, corrupted by the wretched and wicked prejudices which admit a difference of opinion as a cause of hatred.
Robert Peel enters. So Brigadier, you're coming down here. You were supposed to enter from over here. Yep, that's okay. I'll write that down so you have it for tomorrow. So you enter.
Peter,
Yes.
the other night everyone was in the front.
Right.
We have chairs back here.
There'll be benches or chairs or something. So just act it up. Just You acknowledge him, Judge? He's the Viceroy of Ireland. He's the King of Ireland.
Your Honor, I call Sir Robert Peel, Viceroy of Ireland, to the stand.
For what purpose?
The prosecution contends that the Catholic Association seeks to overthrow the government. I should like to ask the most senior member of that government if he feels threatened by us. And if so, why?
First, Mr. O'Connell, as Viceroy, he is immune from testifying. Second, I won't allow it.
Gentlemen, let me transport you from the heat and fury of domestic politics. With your good leave, you shall for a moment be Portuguese. The Protestant religion is that of the people of Portugal, the Catholic that of the government. You shall experience all the persecution which you have practiced here. Every foreigner may, in the land of your forefathers, attain rank, station, and compensation. You alone shall be excluded. With what scorn, with what contempt do you not listen to the stale pretenses, to the miserable excuses by which your exclusion and degradation are justified? Then, let me give you a representative of that Catholic government who will rule over you, a viceroy. This viceroy appoints a cabinet of men, not for any qualities of intellect or leadership, but their only qualification being an avowed hatred of Protestants. In his personal revenue, this viceroy receives enormous compensation from the people he thus misgoverns. See the most wasteful expenditure of public money. Every job I reward, every abuse encouraged. See the resources of Portugal squandered. Have you followed me? Can you understand the feelings of Protestants, thus insulted, thus persecuted, their enemies promoted and richly rewarded, their friends mocked and displaced, their blood shed with impunity, and justice herself converted from an impartial arbiter to a frightful partisan? But if, at such a moment, some ardent Catholics, regardless of their own interests, and roused by the crimes thus committed against you, should describe in measured and cautious language scenes of the oppression and injustice, if they were to meet peacefully and simply state the facts for your benefit, if for this you were called into a courtroom, accused of a crime, menaced with a dungeon for years, good and gracious God, how you would revolt against and abominate the men who could consign them to that dungeon. With this picture of yourselves in Portugal, come home to us in Ireland. Reflect that it is by reason of your prejudice that the Attorney General hopes for your verdict against us. Is there amongst you any one friend to freedom? Is there one who considers life as empty without liberty? If there be, my clients appeal to this kindred mind and confidently expect an acquittal. But if there be none, if you be slaves and hypocrites, we will await your verdict and despise it.
Blackout. All exit. Thank you all so much. You're doing marvelously well. We just need to react more. We'll talk about that after. Excellent. So blackout, good. Cottage, lights come up on the cottage once they're ready. Is Neve around and Johnny?
The case was lost, but he won the people. His words were printed, read, signed all over the country. Gave the people pride, hope. Of course, the government couldn't abide that, but he was too slippery for them. They had to find another way to put him down.
Lights down in the cottage. Lights come up on center stage. Jerry, we need people on center stage. This is the duel scene. So we have definitely McNamara, Stanley, Hannah and Sean are on stage right. Good. Are Hannah and Sean on stage right? Excellent. Just be ready. Good. Go ahead.
Jerry, good to see you. Can you believe a little snow in March?
They arranged a challenge to his honor. Found just the right man for it. Experienced, cold-hearted, a dead shot. To their thinking, if he didn't fight, the people would take him for a coward. And if he accepted the challenge, then so much the better.
Excellent. Lights go down on the cottage. Yes. You guys can exit when the lights go down.
And then as soon as the lights come up, I...
Yep.
I suggest that the gentleman shall fire...
Much louder, much louder.
I suggest that the gentleman shall
Much
fire...
louder, much louder.
I suggest that the gentleman shall fire... one shot each.
No, sir, that will not do. For if the gentleman fired 5 and 20 shots each, Mr. Destaire would never leave the field until Mr. O'Connell made an apology.
Well then.
Everything needs to be much louder.
Well then, if blood be your object, blood you shall have. By God.
Excellent.
You don't want to give your opponent the advantage.
My dear man, you shall take post.
My dear man, you should take post at 10 yards. You don't want to give the opponent the advantage of convenient target.
Yes, of course.
These seals you lawyers use would cause a hideous wound should the ball ever penetrate.
Yes. May I make one final request?
Anything, my friend.
Would you kindly shut up until the affair is over?
Good. Lights dim on center stage, come up on stage left, cottage. Lights dim back down on this center, lights dim on center stage left, come back up on center stage, and Father Murphy steps forward. Stephen. Stephen.
May made me sit and open a Bible. Turn to Matthew 11:3. It was John the Baptist asking Jesus, "Are you the one, or must we wait for another?"
Listen, Daniel. You must be completely resolute in your next actions. No wavering, no hesitation.
Look at all those faces, Henry.
Look at those faces. Look at their eyes. They look up now.
Blackout, shot with 2 shots, shot with shattering glass.
Is it okay?
Terribly sorry, Mrs. O'Connell.
Terribly sorry, Mrs. O'Connell.
Doesn't seem to be too serious. No major organs compromised.
Lights dim on center stage. Lights come up on stage right, stage left. So we all exit during that time when the lights dim. Good. Thank you. Go ahead, Bill.
Mary!
How could you?
We'll discuss this later.
Look at them. You tell them why they nearly lost their father today.
Not now.
Yes, now. Tell them. Your father nearly died today because of a word. He called the Dublin Corporation beggar and stood in front of a gun to defend it. Look at them. You, without a cent in the bank, and debts to every creditor in Dublin. What would I have told them? Their father died for a word? That he turned them into beggars for the word beggar? That his pride meant more to him than his family? Right now, you promise me, us, that you will never do it again.
It's not that simple.
It's precisely that simple. You promise us now that you will never do it again.
Begging your pardon, Mr. O'Connell. Mr. McCann is here. Says it's terribly urgent. Sorry to interrupt.
We'll discuss this later. I'd never desert you. You know that.
Come, children, bedtime.
Jane, I'm going to have you say one line. It's Daddy, please promise Mama. Can you do that for me? Can you say it, Daddy, please promise Mama?
Just as you're walking out.
Okay?
Nice and low.
Good. So go ahead.
Daddy, please promise Mama.
Excellent. Thank you, Jane. That was wonderful.
You should know. Their star has died.
What? I aimed low. Was a flesh wound.
Loss of blood. Never made it back to Dublin. You should know. I have spoken to the authorities. All agreed. Was fairly conducted. No thought of prosecution.
God forgive me. I killed. Had any family?
A wife, a daughter, I believe.
You must see to that.
Lights briefly dim. O'Connell gets into place. They come back up.
How did I not see this man? A woman has no husband. A daughter has no father.
You must pray, Dan. You will confess.
I killed Mary. I killed with my own hand.
And you were spared. It's done now. Your courage can't be questioned. I will put this to use.
Lights.
Danny never killed again. He enrolled everyone in the Catholic Association, not just the gentlemen. Everyone paid a fine. All belonged.
Lights come up on stage.
Maybe he worked so hard because he had to kill.
And Mrs. Smiley, instead of we won't have music, so you just say, let's sing the star, okay?
Oh no, it's not you're playing you.
Well, if we do, but for now, just say, let's sing the star.
Okay. Let's sing the star. At the harvest fair to be surely there, so I'll dress in my Sunday clothes, with my shoes shone bright and my hat cut right, for a smile from the nut brown rose. No pipe I smoke, no horse I yoke, though my plough with rust turned brown, till a smiling bride by my own fireside sits the star of County Down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Clay, from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the What in heaven's name are you wearing?
Our uniform. Every movement must be recognized.
Oh my, you'll be known far and wide in that, but not for what you want. Oh my goodness.
Pretend I'm there.
Take them to the poorhouse. Go on.
Oh. Did you find your man to run for County Clare?
No one will take on Fitzgerald. Nearly had McNamara, but he's low on funds at present.
There's no one to run? What about you?
You well know that Catholics can't sit in Parliament.
Can they stand for it? Well, you're an aggravator. What could be more aggravating than that?
It's agitator, and I've less money than McNamara.
Oh, would that that had ever stopped you.
Well, you should go off the floor, yeah.
Yeah, we should go.
Yeah.
Time change.
Yep. No, you have
In Parliament, I respectfully solicit your votes to raise me to that station. You are told I am not qualified to be elected. The assertion, my friends, is untrue. It is true that as a Catholic, I cannot, and of course, never will, take the oaths currently prescribed to members of Parliament. But I entertain a confident hope that if you elect me, even the most bigoted of our enemies will see the necessity of removing from the chosen representative of the people an obstacle which would prevent him from doing his duty to his country. The oath, at present required by law, is that the sacrifice of the Mass and the invocation of the Blessed Virgin Mary and other saints, as now practiced in the Church of Rome, are impious and idolatrous. I will never stain my soul with such an oath. I leave that to my honorable opponent, Mr. William Fitzgerald. He has often taken this horrible oath and asks your votes to do so again. I would rather be torn limb from limb. Choose between me and Mr. William Fitzgerald. Choose between the sworn libeler of the Catholic faith and one who has devoted his early life to your cause, who has consumed his manhood in a struggle for your liberties, who has ever lived and is ready to die for the integrity, the purity, the honor of the Catholic faith, and the promotion of Irish freedom and happiness.
Residents of County Clare, you know me. You know my family. You know that I have supported Catholic emancipation for my entire career. Here, you have an outsider, attempting by strange and unconstitutional channels to dissolve the connection and the good feeling between the proprietors of the soil and the tenantry under their protection. Who is looking out for your interests and not his own? My opponent, can he even be called such? My opponent cannot hold the office for which he is running. If he wins, you will have no representation. Worse yet, many will lose their land, their crops, their livelihood. Where will you be when you return to your senses? Will you be ruined by this folly? Will you disgrace an old man's legacy?
Praise God! We have just witnessed the greatest miracle since Moses struck water from the rock. Sir, as much cause as I have, I never shed tears in public.
Lights dim on center stage.
There he was, standing in with Claire, running for an office he couldn't have. The landlords went all out to stop him.
Good, and during this, we get ready for the voting scene.
They knew if he lost, no Catholic would ever try again.
Good, and during that, we need the farmers to come out. Lights up, Joey. Lights up. The farmers come out. Good, led by Vandeleur.
Oh, so they're behind me?
Yeah. It doesn't matter, the important thing is to get up.
Okay. So that's during this, right?
Yeah, it's during that previous line. It's during circuits between.
Here.
They knew if Danny lost, no Catholic would ever try again.
They knew if Danny lost, no Catholic would ever try again.
Such one of you dare vote O'Connell.
Much louder, everybody.
If such one of you dare vote O'Connell, you'll be out of your homes within the fortnight. O'Connell, That's the name for him. Nothing but a con man. Lives high and easy on your dues. Has bastards in every county in Ireland, I'm told. Think you're fools for asking for your vote. A lot of good that will do him. Or you. Ah.
If you evict them all, who'll pay your rent?
Con man, boys. That's all he is.
Who, sir, are you? I repeat, who, sir, are you?
Are you speaking to me? I am the O'Gorman man.
Well, man, I tell the gentleman to take off that cape. Did you hear me? I said take off that cape.
This gentleman tells that gentleman that if this gentleman presumes to touch that gentleman, then this gentleman will protect himself against that gentleman while he has the arm of a gentleman to protect him. And we all laugh. Let's go down.
He was a gentleman, sure enough.
Here, good.
Yeah. Isn't that enough now, grandmother? Do you want to rest?
Oh no, dear. You need to hear it all of you.
Good. Then lights come up on center stage.
It was time for the votes to be cast, for the ballots to be cast.
Good. Enjoy this.
Who presents these voters?
We're hot. Okay.
I do, Your Honor. Charles R. Vandeleur III.
Listen carefully. I will call your name and administer the oath of loyalty to the crown. You will then name your vote for the representation in His Majesty's House of Commons and withdraw. Voting will take the better part of the day. Your name will be called only once. Francis Fladley. Do you solemnly affirm your oath of loyalty to the Crown of Great Britain and swear by your life and your God that you will honor and defend His Majesty, His Parliament, His representatives, and His laws as a true, loyal, and grateful subject?
Listen loud.
You respond, I do.
I do.
In the election for representative to His Majesty's House of Commons, how do you vote?
William Fitzgerald.
The vote is cast for the Right Honourable William Fitzgerald. The next voter applicant is Donald McGrath. Do you affirm your oath of loyalty to the Crown of Great Britain and swear by your life and your God that you will honour and defend His Majesty, His Parliament, His representatives, and His laws as a true, loyal, and grateful subject? Can you not speak, man?
Do.
In the election for representative of His Majesty's House of Commons, how do you vote? What's that?
Daniel? Oh.
For the love of God, how do you vote?
Daniel?
No vote recorded. Retire.
No.
No vote
Daniel?
recorded. I said retire.
O'Connell. Want O'Connell.
Voter applicant Michael McCaffrey. Do you affirm your loyalty to the Crown of Great Britain and swear by your life and your God that you will honour and defend His Majesty, His Parliament, and His laws as a true, loyal, and grateful subject?
I do.
In the election for representative of His Majesty's House of Commons, how do you vote?
Daniel O'Connell.
No!
You'll reverse that vote or lose your land.
No, then he says it, then he
Oh,
says
right,
repeat that.
thank you.
I cast my vote for Daniel O'Connell.
You reverse that vote! Then you say it again.
Or lose your land.
Oh, I thought he says something again, and then okay. You reverse that vote, or lose your
Pardon the interruption, Your Excellencies. In the interest of expediency, I have here Magistrate Mr. James Kelly, Esquire, to administer the oath in toto. That's Latin. And Gary, that's your line. This your keeper come up with me. Did you come up, Gary? Yes, we'll make sure that I'll make this all these out for you guys tonight. So for now, just come up. Come on, lads, raise your hands. Come on, lads, raise your hands in the air. Proceed, Mr. Kelly. You go first.
You affirm your loyalty to the Crown of England,
I do.
and that you will obey its laws.
I do.
Pardon the interruption. Please continue. Please continue.
I call Barry O'Neill.
I vote for Daniel O'Connor.
O'Donnell. Jared Dott.
Nice and loud, Luke. Nice and loud.
Daniel O'Connell.
Vote for O'Connell.
Donald McCarthy.
Donald McCarthy.
Daniel O'Connor.
No.
Good. Lights go down on center stage. Kathleen says.
3 days it was all over. Didn't we wonder how it would turn out? Some said Danny was down, then some said he was up. Rumors passed and hopes were stolen.
Good. Then we come out. During this, lights come up. Once we're all on. This is everybody, the whole cast. And once the lights come up with Kathleen and you're all ready,
I
you say,
had
go ahead.
Thank you.
I had to go and see for myself. But
And didn't?
didn't the Lord bless me to see Dan one last time at that time?
Good, and we're talking amongst ourselves nice and lively. For William Fitzgerald, 982 votes. For Daniel O'Connell, 2,057
My friends, I could not be an Irishman if I did not feel grateful, if I was not overpowered at the manner in which you have received me. Sorry, sunk, degraded as my country is, I still glory in the title of Irishman. Even to contend for Ireland's liberties is a delightful duty to me, and I swear now, by all that I hold valuable or worthy of desire, that my life is at her service. May the hand of adversity fall down upon me, and upon all those dearest to me, if ever I forsake the pure pursuit of the liberty of Ireland.
Yeah! You can start. Irish step, music come out. Claire, you come out. If it's Irish step, good. Music starts and we clap. This stays good. Good, excellent. When the hand of James is big, the hammer comes out. Don't block away, good. Don't block away, don't just straight.
Your vote is cast, my good man. Your vote is branded upon my heart. And as sure as it beats, by the grace of God, I will take that vote to England. For the first time in 300 years, 300 bitter, painful years, a Catholic will vote on the laws of our fair land.
Yeah!
For the first time in 300 years, a Catholic will sit in the House of Commons.
Yeah!
Clapping and the music dies, and you exit. Thank you all. That was very good. Thank you. Kathleen says,
Took himself to London, our own dad. Walked right into Parliament, crushed all those members, and demanded to be seen. Can you imagine?
good. You know, the lights will be down. So bring that out. Yeah, you can bring that out. If you want to bring it up, that's fine. Did we start the King George scene, please?
Of course, there was still. Okay,
that's fine. Do they need help bringing it up? Good, then you go, Kathleen. Of course, there's still. Kathleen?
Yes.
Of course, there's still.
Of course, there was still the matter. Peter, I'm supposed to wait until he rings before I say that, right?
Yes, and there'll be much more to do when we have stagehands and everything. Go ahead.
Of course, there was still the matter of old and evil.
So don't focus.
Catholic to own a horse, isn't it? He probably has a whole state.
Your Highness, he knows the law better than most. Yes, you could have him arrested for owning a horse. And he would convince a jury that the law does not prevent a horse from owning a cow. It's beyond that time. He has.
And are they not my subjects?
The bill isn't all bad. There are stipulations. Oh, not all bad.
Catholics, maybe judges, lord mayors, aldermen, common councilmen, sheriffs, peers of parliament, members of parliament. In short, you've given them everything. They can even have horses.
The Catholic Association is permanently banned.
Wonderful. Wonderful. No more Catholic Association. That is because there is no longer a need for Catholic Association. I won't stand for it. This is about the monarchy of Great Britain. I am the head of its Christian religion. I will lead. You can have my brother.
Your Majesty, your brother will sign the bill.
Then I will get rid of you and this pathetic excuse for pardon.
That is your right. I would submit a new parliament now would spawn O'Connells through every county of Ireland.
This cannot be. Those miserable pagan peasants in that God-forsaken, besotted bog.
There is the matter of the Irish presence in His Majesty's army. Somewhere in here for this. It is especially important that we can count on their loyalty now.
You are the king of England. O'Connell is the king of Ireland. And I am history's bastard.
Good, let's go down. Good, let's come up on stage right, the cottage. When they're in place.
Remember that year, boy, 1829. Freedom for all Catholics in Ireland and England. He'd won, we'd won, and not one drop of blood spilled.
Excellent, and that is the end of Act 1. Thank you.
He was always working, day and night. Sorry. Came back home and got more Catholics elected to Parliament. Took them all back to London with him. Called them O'Connell's Tale. Were enough to be reckoned with. They set in straight away to making change.
While I saw you rise and shared you with the world, I have ever loved you for yourself alone. I pray now only for a last glimpse of your face, the whisper of your voice, and that our souls may meet in the joy.
Actually walking out and starting the job.
Yes, when the lights come up.
I'll start with the come up.
Yes, the lights come up.
Can I borrow that shirt?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay.
Good, go ahead, Jeannie. Is he not shown?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is he not shown?
Not yet.
Always in that one.
He's been very busy. I'll be in the garden in a moment.
Here, bring him a cup of tea.
Thanks, love. Is he within?
Is it me or himself who come to see?
You, of course. Nell O'Connell, I present to you the first edition of The Nation.
Dedicated to Ireland.
Dedicated to Ireland.
And her independence.
And our independence.
We were up all night.
We were up all night getting it out.
Not exactly the presentation I was hoping for.
Take a look. Irish writers, Irish literature.
Take a look. Irish writers. Irish politics.
A free nation.
A free nation needs its own paper.
Any society page announcements? They might be of some interest to some of your readers.
My own love. You know my feeling about that. Outside of work, I think of nothing but our happiness together.
This is our path.
This is our path.
There's nothing here for us without independence.
There's nothing here for us without independence.
I can barely support myself. I can barely support myself.
No,
Oh, is it, yes, everything is going to. Let's just keep it going, yeah. Don't worry, that's okay, keep going.
Alright.
I can barely support myself. That shouldn't be the line. I can barely support myself. I don't know why.
I can barely support myself. let alone a wife and a family.
Gavin.
Nell.
You should, okay, just say line whenever you need line.
Line.
You should see who's joining the Young
You
Irelanders.
should see who's joining the Young Irelanders. Lawyers, bankers, tradesmen.
You can just say line. You can see it now.
We can see it now. A free nation. Irish workers, Irish prophets, going to Irish, staying in Ireland.
And if not?
And if not?
There are places where an Irishman can earn a decent wage on his own merits. It won't come to that.
Well, where we could not really survive.
Where we cannot merely survive, but succeed and prosper. But it won't come to that.
No, don't worry, keep going. I'll beat the line. Okay. It won't come to that. Keep going.
It won't come to that.
Line, you need a line?
Yeah.
We're on the verge, so close.
We're on the verge. We're so close.
That's why I need to see him.
That's why I need to see him.
Then here's what you're to do. Wait here, patiently. I'll see to it.
We're so close now. We're so close to everything we've ever dreamed of.
I hope so.
Excellent.
If you aren't the ray of your mother's light, God rest her soul.
Will his lordship stay to eat a civilized breakfast?
After we win, dear, you just may find your old father, the Prime Minister of Ireland.
Have you heard? The watchers on Depart Street have a new rhyme.
What are they saying?
One day, through the street, as brave Daniel was walking, a party of cockneys to view him they stood. In order to humbug the monarch of Ireland, one pulls out a note and says, "Sir, is this good?" To answer the question, brave Dan is not lazy. The note in his pocket conveys in a trice. When asked to return it, he says to the fellow, "Sir, I'm a lawyer that's paid for advice."
Might be a germ of truth in that one.
Some papers report that the Young Irelanders are growing impatient.
Young Irelanders. They're young and they're Irish, but they have no sense for politics.
They would have much to learn from the Liberator.
Haven't I taught them plenty? They don't want to get their hands dirty. It's bottom up. I never see them with common, in moldy barns, stepping in cow dung. They want to sit back and say, "English be gone," and have it done.
Do you need a line? Some feel close
Some
involvement.
feel close involvement with the working classes spreads the view that an Irish government would become law rule.
It sounds as if you've become familiar with some of their positions, if not some of themselves.
I know a few as acquaintances. Some are impetuous. I understand why they want to raise a voice,
A voice is earned, not demanded.
and not with instruction and practice. A voice be strengthened. Two of them are here. Please give them a few moments. They want what we all want.
Who?
Mr. Duffy and Mr. McCann.
Not the worst, I suppose.
No, men of character.
'Tis a shame you never read for the bar.
It's a shame I never could.
Lights go down on stage left. Lights come up when Fine Cottage comes out during that blackout. Good. First we have Michael, or Eamon, doesn't matter the order. Ready? Are Johnny, Neve, and Eamon backstage and the rest of the family?
Right here.
Great, so everyone get in place. Wait 1 second, Johnny, let them get ready first. Are they all ready, Neve? Great, so first we have the children. You just come up and put down a heap of potatoes. Good. No, this is the potato scene where you bring out the potatoes.
Oh,
Make
okay.
sense? So it's just Kathleen, you come back there, come inside. You come from behind the curtain.
Okay.
So you guys are gonna, I'll explain this to you, but go behind the curtain. So from youngest, let's start with Maria comes out first. Then Eamon. then Charlotte, then Michael, and then Neve. Okay? You just come out and you put down a basket of potatoes. So first Maria. You go, good, that's fine. No, you go, actually go back. So Maria, but go around, because there'll be a set right there. Okay, go around like that. Go around like this. Go around here, and then back to
Why do you use the stairs, no?
They could, then they could go back there. Good. We'll practice that in a little bit if you have time. But we need to go. Then Charlotte. So you come out, Charlotte. Yeah. You come out. Oh, Mary B, I'm sorry. You come out, Mary B. And then you go around. Exactly. Good. Then Michael comes out. Excellent. Then Maura.
Maura, there's a queer smell off the potatoes.
Bill, can't see it from me. Blackout on stage. Right. Yep. McCracken, our Duffy, and are on stage left. Lights come up. Good. Go ahead.
Pray to your business, as I have my own course to attend to.
We attended Tara and want to congratulate you on behalf of the young Islanders.
Roused by your pledge to fight for the cause.
I've fought for the Irish cause for 40 years.
You told the crowd repealing Wellington are second Cromwells.
Clearly, Mr. McCracken, I said they may be second Cromwells.
We've come to offer the support of the young Islanders.
And that would be?
Organization, discipline.
Planning for contingencies.
Contingencies?
Against the massing of British troops. You said yourself, we must be prepared to defend ourselves.
Against their cavalry and cannons.
Gentlemen, it won't come to that. While we petition peacefully, they can take no action against us. Your contingencies would only convince some that our actions are treasonable.
They would not need to know.
Do you trust the Army's discipline? Will you leave the people vulnerable?
They are a physical force. We are a moral force. Our movement, properly controlled, renders them impotent.
Mr. O'Connell, the right preparation now is critical. Our martyrs would have succeeded had not certain leaders failed them at their hour of need.
Their struggle was of blood and defeated in blood. Their means weakened Ireland. Do you not see how far we've come? We're regaining our liberties, not only in peace, but because of peace.
Mr. O'Connell, you ignore the lessons of history. Ireland will never be a nation without sacrifice, without courage.
Yes, Arnold. There is a need for courage and hard work. Arrange meetings, prepare resolutions, write correspondence, defend every individual grievance, animate the lukewarm, control the violent. A patriot does more for his country alive than dead.
Isn't it time we work together? Dare we squander another opportunity when we are so close?
We will win now because our means have changed. There can be no victory if we fight on their terms. If you won't agree on moral grounds, at least see the impossibility of battling a trained army with pitchforks.
Oh, we can do better than that.
Listen, I haven't worked out. I've lined up the support in London for our bill. Here in Dublin, I'm arranging a college of freedom to form our first Irish Parliament until elections can be held.
We wouldn't be here if
The
we
English
didn't.
do not grant rights.
The English do not grant rights, they must be taken.
Trust me, not the English. In 2 weeks, I will bring 1 million countrymen to Clontarf. Bring the young Irelanders, all that you can, peacefully.
We wouldn't be here if we didn't trust you.
Good. On October 8th, we gather as a nation on Clontarf. On that day, at that place, Ireland ends her union with England. print that in your paper.
Excellent. Can everybody come out on stage, please? Everybody come out on stage, please. Up on the stage, everybody. So I want to give us time to change out of our costumes and be able to get home by 8:30. We'll be able to get out of here by 8:30 because we have this time until 8:30. The general note of the day is liveliness and more loud. We only have these 4 mics here to pick up everything. We have 2 individual mics for some of the leads, but everybody needs to be much louder and much more energy. The basic principle in theater is to be big, be bigger than life. There's lots of really good things going on, but that's really what will carry the show, is thinking yourselves as bigger than life. Does that make sense? Yes. Just like O'Connell. O'Connell was a big man. He was a hero. He was an idealist. He needs to, everything about this play needs to be big. Does that make sense? It needs to be colossal with energy and life and volume. Tomorrow night I will be on stage, so I will not be down here. I will not be able to. I'll be up as man for the dress rehearsal. So that means I will not be here to watch everything. So it's everybody. The basic principle is everybody to take the initiative to really fill your character with life. If we can do that, this play will be phenomenal. Okay? Thank you all so much. If you have any questions, please feel free to come ask me. Yes, Katie?
So for the crowd, should we, because I feel like everyone's getting lost in the curtains.
Yeah.
Like, should we be like kind of like close to him, or should we be a little bit far away?
We should come down stage a little bit more. Not a little bit more. Down stage for the audience.
Are we going to leave it this open?
Which open?
As open as it is now?
Yes, that's the plan. Do you have a very different cover?
Yes, I think we should cut it.
Cut it more short. That's great.
Push it all out.
On top, yeah, sure. It's a great idea, just like we did for Charlotte's Web.
Gives us more room in the back.
Sure.
And then anyone who isn't in a crowd scene, anyone who isn't on stage can be right behind, right?
Yep.
Shouting and screaming. You know,
absolutely.
Right, to just get more voices.
Absolutely. So let me reiterate. That's the third curtain from the back will be closed. So that means you'll have all the space downstage. Does that make sense? That fourth curtain, the second to last curtain, does not close all the way. So that's why it will be this third curtain. When you are not on stage, like Bill said, still cheer and feel that the actor needs to use his entire makeup, the entire body to express emotion. And one of the biggest ways to do that is through the face. Okay? One thing that occurred to me in pre-calc of Trivium School, when I was watching Clark Mitchell teach a class, was I saw in his eyes that he was really intent about this. It's the same thing for an actor. In order to get into a part and really get into the part, you need to have the eyes. If you get down the eyes, just like Christ says in the Gospels, the eyes are the lantern of the body. It's the same thing for an actor. So if you get down those eyes, think about the character of the eyes, okay? Then that will channel the energy. And like Michael Chekhov says, student of Stanislavski, sometimes you have to resort to cliches to make yourself fill it with life. If you need to do that, then do it. The thing that we need to do is fill it with life. This man is big and very lively. Thank you all very much. Tomorrow is the dress rehearsal. We will be here. Please be here precisely at 6. I will be here at 5:30. So please be here no later than 6. If you want to arrive a few minutes early, yes, then come early. Yes, Gary.
Costuming is going to be where?
For getting into costumes and things?
Yeah.
We're trying to get the gym in the corner. If we get the gym, then it'll be in the gym. If not, then we'll use the bathrooms.
Okay, what about things that we still need for costumes that are here today?
That will be taken care of by tomorrow. But if you have any questions about that, then go to me, or Marie, or Mrs. McCann, and we'll take care of it. That make sense? That answer your question? Yes, Marie?
So, don't worry.
That's an excellent idea. So please be here right at 6. Yes?
Did everyone get the email about costumes, like pants and shirts and stuff? No. Okay.
No?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just realized I didn't get it.
Okay.
You're all set now. You're all set. I think, yeah. Okay, so everyone, that works at home.
Great. Do you have any other questions before we call it a night? Yes. Did I say Peter? Did I hear Peter?
Peter.
Yes.
Do you know if the wax would be dry?
Yes, tomorrow we'll have access to that hallway. Too. That hallway will no longer be wet. Yes. Mrs. Smiley, did I see your hand go up?
I was just wondering, are the voiceovers going to be mic'd or not?
We're going to work that out early tomorrow. We want to make sure there's no feedback. If we can connect a mic into them, the band has a whole bunch of hand mics that we could use.
Okay.
With permission from the band. And we'll discuss that. I'll convince them. Okay, any other questions? Okay, so please feel free to get out of your costume and get a good night rest and be here no later than 6.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.